Reebok back, Reebok back. That's all they really screaming is that Reebok back. Right, the black and the white, highs and the lows. So Swizz Beatz edition, but the bitches they blow. I mean, look at the laces, earning money and chasing.
I guess we should start by asking about, has everyone heard that song before, or is it the first time you heard that song? You heard it? So what's the story behind Reebok's back?
I mean, the story behind Reebok back is Reebok is back. And the story behind the song, I just felt that going into the Rhythm of Light, I felt that we needed something to pass off into the Rhythm of Light, and I was like, you know what? I want everybody to understand that Reebok is back on a cultural level, on a new design level, as far as the company overall. And you know, I made a phone call to one of my good friends, Rick Ross, who had Tupac is back. And I said, you know what, I need you to change that to Reebok is back. And then it became a big thing on the radio. But then the radio people was like, wait a minute, this is a long commercial.
Yeah, I got that call.
You got that call?
I got that call for a check. Yeah.
But by the time they made that phone call, people already got the message. Millions and millions of people around the world got the message that Reebok was back. And you know, I'm happy to be here with you guys and following up time after time and just keeping this ladder growing, you know, growing high past the clouds.
So before we get into the Reebok movement, which there's a lot going on there, I think there's just a few things that are really interesting about you that some people may know and some may not. But one of the most incredible statistics, I think, with you is you've been responsible for over 250 million albums sold globally, which is a pretty staggering number. You've been doing it over 15 years and you're still as hot now as you were when you started. So I guess one of the most important questions people ask is, how have you had the coolness and the longevity?
Oh man, you know, it's real simple, it's the passion. And anything that you do, you have to have the passion. And if you don't have the passion, then you might as well hang it up and move to something else. Once you lose the passion for something, and that's with anything, that's with friends, design, art, hobbies. Once you lose the passion, there's nothing left. And I have the passion for music, I have the passion for design, art, fashion, you name it. And also have the passion to give back to the culture, give back to the up and coming generation, which is why I teach at NYU and why I have my charter school for the arts in the Bronx, and you know, all those different things keep the passion going as well.
And then I guess another interesting thing when it comes to music is when you look at people like Bono, Coldplay, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Metallica, Lenny Kravitz, Lil Wayne. I mean, the list of the type of artists you work with runs the gamut. And I know you told me at one point, I remember you were in a studio with 3 different types of artists in the same night producing 3 different tracks. Like, how are you able to be so versatile? I mean, there's so many great producers, but they usually stay in one genre of music. Like, how are you able to work with so many different diverse artists?
Well, I'm a music lover, but the most important thing that I've done in my life was travel, to see different cultures and to see outside of New York City, to see outside of the United States and understand that music speaks the same language, but in different ways. And once you learn that, you're able to adapt to different cultures, you're able to adapt to different sounds, and then take those sounds back and express them in your own way back to the culture that you're you know, a part of and leading, and even cross-promote different cultures. Like, I can't wait to get in the studio with Verbal and like make something crazy and, you know, make people be like, what is that? You know, crossing the cultures again.
So I guess I'm gonna be dating myself, but one of the coolest things when we used to buy music was to open up the CD, to read the credits, to take the paper off the CD. But it's like, those days don't exist anymore. This generation of kids is getting music much faster. They're not going to a record store. It's a totally different environment. And so you're one of the biggest innovators when it comes to bringing music out. You've got Monster Mondays, which is putting a new song out every Monday. So can you talk about how the music business is changing and how you're moving so fast to change with it?
Well, not only is the music business changing, the attention span of, you know, the culture is changing. You know, everybody have easy access, instant access. So a lot of the traditional ways are out the window. And you know, that's when I came to the brand, that's one thing I wanted to make very clear, is that the old way of doing things should be over. the new way of doing things should start now. And that's how we was able to progress in, you know, less than 1 year to the level where we have, you know, shoes selling out in 10 minutes or selling out in an hour and people screaming Reebok is back. That's because we was able to take the technology and use it in our favor and give people what they wanted immediately. Once they seen it, they was able to soon be able to buy it, X, Y, and Z. And I think technology is changing, so music is changing.
And so one of the hottest songs on New York radio right now, Bonkers, was an idea that started on like a couple days ago.
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
And now it's all over radio everywhere. So it's like, it can be that quick that 48 hours later people are listening to what you recorded.
Yeah, I was, you know, with the song Bonkers, which is, you can go to monstermondays.com and hear the song. I just was freestyling, but nowadays, you can't even freestyle. People make it's on the radio, getting rotation. So now I have to go and organize the song and make it like with a chorus, because I just went without stopping through the whole song with no chorus, which is something I love doing because it's not traditional. And I think that I just want to do everything that's not traditional, like from songs to design, even the way I'm putting out my album. Like, I'm not putting out my album on one day, you get the whole album. You know, I don't want to put out an album at one time. I want to put out moments. So when you hear a song, you have that moment of a visual, you have that moment of a sound, and you have that moment to where the song could live. And then you go into the next moment, and then you go to the next moment, instead of just, you know, building up and working so hard on an album, and you put it out 1 week, and it's just determined on this 1 week after all that work you put it on. I don't think it makes sense. So I said, you know, I want to make moments.
All right, so speaking of moments, let's transition to something I think is really cool. You know, the more time I spend with you, the more I realize that, you know, an artist doesn't go in the studio with a producer and come up with a song. A lot of time there's pre-work, a lot of time there's funny stories about how the music actually came. So with world famous DJ Run, our partner over there, we've chosen a few songs that we wanted to play for you guys, some you've probably heard. And maybe Swizz, you can tell us the story behind a couple of them. So Runner, why don't you play the first song?